Let us start with the bioassay. So bioassay is defined as the estimation of potency of an active principle in a unit quantity of preparation. And another definition to define the bioassay, the detection and measurement of the concentration of the substance in a preparation using biological methods. So bioassay is also known as the biological standardization, and in that we are going to estimate the potency of an active principle in a unit quantity of preparation. Means we prepare the substance by measuring its accurate quantity, and we will go with the studying their biological effects by using the isolated preparations, isolated tissue preparations, or in a living organisms. So we will get the responses as per their concentration, and we will correlate them using the biological methods, and we will perform the bioassay by that method. There are different methods we will see in the further lecture. Now, first of all, we must understand the importance of this bioassay. What is the importance of bioassay? Bioassay, as compared to other methods of assay, that is chemical or physical assays, are very important because the active principle of the drug is unknown or cannot be isolated. So in that, some drugs where the drugs are not, we can say, unknown or cannot be isolated, like insulin or the hormones which are secreted from the pituitary gland, are having their importance there. So this is the one thing, so that the bioassays are very important. The second method, comparative to chemical method, is either not available. If available, it is too complex and insensitive or requires higher dose. So why we perform bioassay? If there is a chemical method not available for that particular drug, or if it is available and it is so complex or insensitive to perform the that assays, and as it is requiring the higher concentration of the doses in the chemical method, we cannot allow to use the higher doses because the drugs are very uh, less in quantity, or we can say having a higher importance, and they cannot be available at a cheap rate. So we have to use them very cautiously. So insulin and acetylcholine, these are the drugs which are costly one, and in that method we have to choose the bioassay. Bioassays require a very less quantity for checking the drug concentrations. Then the third reason why we prefer the bioassay is the chemical composition of that drug is not known, like long-acting thyroid stimulants. And the fourth reason, chemical composition of the drug differs but have the same pharmacological action and vice versa. For example, cardiac glycosides, catecholamines. So they have the similar pharmacological action, that is increasing the heart rate or decreasing the heart rate or force of contraction. So we have to check it by using the bioassay only. The chemical composition will not, chemical assay will not identify the drug because they are similar in the chemical action but differ in the chemical structure. So we have to choose the biological assays. The next thing, we have to understand the principle on which bioassays are performed. What is the basic behind the bioassays? The basic principle of bioassay is to compare the test substance with the international standard preparation of the same, and to find out how much test substance is required to produce the same biological effect as produced by the standard one. So what is the principle here? We are comparing the substance that is we are comparing the test substance with the international standard preparation of the same, and to find out how much test substance is required to produce the same biological effect as produced by the standard. Mean, consider XYZ standard drug is there and we are testing the ABC test. So we will compare the ABC, how much quantity of ABC is required to produce the same effect as the XYZ is producing. That is the basic principle of the bioassay. That is the comparison with the standard substance. So let us see the types of bioassay. So there are mainly two types are there. One is the quantal and the second is the graded. So quantal means what? The quantal response, the response is in the form of all or none. That is either no response or maximum response. Means quantal response means what? Is there a response present or no response present? That is coming under the quantal response or quantal assay. The drugs producing quantal effect can be bioassayed by endpoint method. So quantal assays are done by the endpoint method. Means what is the endpoint of that assay? Is there a response or no response? Maximum response or no response? That is the quantal assay. That is the endpoint method. The next is the graded assay. So graded assay, that is the response which is proportional to the dose which we are using. If the dose is increasing, the response may increase, and the response may lie between the no response, that is zero response, to the maximum response. So the graded response is proportional to the dose, and response may lie between no response and the maximum response. This is the graded assay. So types of graded assay. These are bracketing or direct matching assay, interpolation assay, multiple point assay. Again, multiple point assay have three different types: 3-point assay, 4-point assay, 6-point assay, cumulative dose response. So these are the types of graded response. So let us see the methods for bioassay of an agonist. Agonist is a drug which enhances the receptor activity or the response of that receptor, or augment the receptor response. So which are the methods of the bioassay of this agonist? One is the endpoint method. The threshold dose producing the predetermined effect is measured. Comparison between comparison between the results of standard and the test drug is done. Example of this kind of bioassay is digitalis bioassay in cats. So digitalis is one of the cardiac glycoside drug, and we use it for treatment of cardiac failure. So the digitalis can be bioassayed by the endpoint method, which is performed in the cats. The procedure is, we are going to see here. The cat is anesthetized with chloralase and its blood pressure is recorded. So chloralase is an anesthetic that is used in this procedure. Then the drug is slowly administered to the animal, that is cat. Then the movement of the heart stop beating and blood pressure falls. Zero, the volume of fluid infused is noted. Mean, what is the end point in this assay? We have to check the bio action of this digitalis, that is the stopping the heart or decreasing the blood pressure. So the decrease or stopping of the heart beating is a end point that we have to note, at which volume of the digitalis fluid, the heart beating stop. Okay, so this is the endpoint that we have to be identified. The two series of such experiments, one using standard digitalis and the other using test preparation of digitalis done. Means standard digitalis and one test digitalis means what? In standard digitalis preparation means you know the concentration of that drug which is present in that fluid. So if you prepared a 1 milligram per ml or 1 milligram 10 ml, that is the standard concentration that you know, that is standard one. While the test preparation of digitalis means what? You don't know the how much quantity of digitalis drug is present in the solution, and you are checking that how much volume is necessary to stop the beating of the heart, and then you will correlate it with the standard drug. Standard concentration is this and test volume is this. So just if your standard concentration is stopping at a particular volume and which has a known amount of drug, we will compare it with the unknown test solution. By the cross multiplication, you can find out the particular concentration of that drug in that test digitalis solution, and potency is calculated by the following formula that we are discussing here. The concentration of unknown is equal to threshold dose of the standard. How much dose of the standard required to get the end point, that is here in this case the stopping of the heartbeat, and upon the threshold dose of the test, how much dose of the test solution required to get the endpoint, into the concentration of the standard. Concentration of standard means known concentration of the standard. Then you will get the concentration of unknown. The second method, the graded response of graded point, graded by assay method, matching and bracketing method. A constant dose of the standard is bracketed by various dose of the test sample until an exact matching between the response of the standard and that of the sample is achieved. Means we are preparing a different series of doses here, 10 milligram per ml, then 50 milligram per ml and 100 milligram per ml of the dose, and we will taking the responses of these three different concentrations, and we will matching the concentration responses with each other. How much of 10 ml per 10 milligram per ml gives the height, how much of 50 milligram per ml gives the height. By that way we are bracketing it at the various doses of test sample until the exact matching between the response of standard and the test sample is achieved. Initially we will take two responses of standard, then the doses are adjusted such as one given response of the approximately 20% and other is the 70% of the maximum. The response of unknown, which lies between two responses of standard dose, is taken. The panel is repeated again and increasing or decreasing the dose till the standard all three equal responses is obtained, matching responses is obtained. The dose of the test sample is kept constant, and at the end the response of double dose of the standard and the test which match each other are taken. This should give one equal responses. Concentration of the test sample can be calculated as follow by using this formula. Concentration of unknown is equal to dose of standard upon dose of test upon into concentration of standard. So concentration of standard is equal to dose of standard upon dose of test into concentration of standard. So this is for the matching method. Let us see an example bioassay of histamine on guinea pig ileum. So here we can see the advantages and disadvantages I have mentioned. It is a simple and faster amount of test drug available is small. It does not involve complicated calculation and does not depend on dose response curve. The disadvantages is somewhat less accurate and time consuming troublesome method. It cannot give the exact match of the response. Okay, so here we can see that the standard point 2, then test point 2, then standard, then test. So we have to keep one dose one constant point 2 of standard. The response will be same, and we are going to change the concentration dose of this test until the exact match is obtained. So starting with the 0.2 ml, then test of 0.15 ml of test, then 0.1 ml of test, so 0.12 ml of test, then 0.14 ml of test. Then we will find the exact match here at 0.14, and then we will get the exact match. Again, the test 0.35 and 0.5 ml of standard. So these are again the similar responses obtained. So by this way, we can use this. So we can put this readings and we can find out the concentration of this test. Okay. The third method, the graphical method or interpolation method, that is very easy method again we are using. So this method is based on the assumption of the dose response relationship. Log dose response curve is plotted and the dose of standard producing the same response as produced by the test sample is directly read from the graph. So here we can get the readings by performing the dose response curve and taking that readings and extrapolated on the graph, and we can interpolate the various unknown concentration of test solutions. So in this we can take the 5 to 6 responses of that standard one, and we are taking the test responses again, and we will extrapolate these responses of standard curve and we'll get the concentration by extrapolating on the graph of the standard by the graphical method. So here you can see this, the comparison should be done within the range only. So response of test sample must lie within the standard response range so that we can calculate the concentration of test or unknown solution. So here you can see the 0.1 ml of ACH and 0.1 ml of ACH again, then 0.2, 0.4, then 0.6, 0.8, 1 ml, and the test we are taken here. This height will be calculated and will be extrapolated on the graph, and we will get the calculations. So here we will get the calculation for standard observation table. So we have taken the dose of standard 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 1 ml. The log dose is calculated, then height of that response is calculated in mm or centimeter. It is converted into the percentage response. The maximum response, it is the 3.5. So this is considered as 100, and compared to this 100% response, we have calculated the percentage response, and then we have taken the test response and we take the sample solution, that is the dose 0.1 and 0.3, then log dose, their height of the response, and the calculated as per the considering the 100% response. and we have calculated this, the percentage response, and we will extrapolate the quantity of the drug which is present in the test volume of the test solution. So here you can see the maximum response 3.5 is considered as 100% response. So for 0.9 percentage response is equal to 0.9 into 100 upon 3.5, that is 25, that we have calculated and mentioned in the observation table in percentage response, and the curve will be obtained like this, the sigmoid curve, log dose versus percentage response. So on the x-axis the log dose is taken, and on the y-axis the percentage response is taken, and the points are extrapolated, and this curve is obtained, that is the sigmoid curve. So what are the advantages of this graphical method? So one is the sensitivity of the tissue is the first determined by the prior standard curve, dose response curve. That means the tissue is sensitive or not for that particular drug that is done. We know the sensitivity of the tissue, then dose can be plotted even if it is over the 1,000-fold range. I mean, graphical method advantage is what? If you can take the variation of dose. If you are taking the 0.1 ml and then you can taking the 15 ml of dose again. So what is the whatever the range we can plot on the graph. So the dose can be plotted even if it is varies over 1,000-fold range. Okay, error is normally distributed, so the error is minimized by the graphical method. Then disadvantages are again also attached with this method. The timing of dose not taken into account, then variation in mode of application of drugs, and sensitivity of tissue can change with the time. So if you are taking the longer time for the experiment, the sensitivity will change according to the time of that experiment. The other methods which are based on the dose response relationship, we have seen the 3-point method, the 4-point method, and 6-point method. So why these are called as 3 points, 4-point, and 6-point method? So let us see this in this three method, the responses are repeated several times and the mean of each is taken. So responses in 3-point method is repeated 3 times, in 4-point it is repeated 4 times, and 6-point methods is 6 times. So thus chances of error is minimized in this method. So if you are averaging and taking the average of these repeated responses, we get a specific reading, and the error of this method will be minimized. So in 3-point method, in 3-point assay method, 2 doses of standard and 1 dose of test is used. In 4-point, 2 doses of standard and 2 doses of test. Similarly, we can go with the 6-point, 3 standard doses and 3 test doses. So this is the different methods, quantitative methods of bioassay. The sequence is called as the Latin square method or randomization, and to avoid the bias. Okay, and this by this method we can calculate the response and the average is taken, and this formula is useful for the calculation of the concentration of unknown. So concentration of unknown is equal to N1 upon T into antilog of the bracket. So capital T minus capital S1 upon S2 minus S1 into N2 upon log N1 into concentration of standard. So it mentions here N1 is equal to lower standard dose, then N2 is the higher standard dose, T is the test dose, S1 is the response of N1, S2 is the response of N2, then capital T is the response of T, and CS is equal to concentration of standard. By this method we can calculate the doses, and the graph is like this. S1, S2, standard we will take first, then test doses will be taken, and then we will start with the T, S1, S2, then S1, S2, T, and S2, T, S1. This is called as the Latin square method. This is the randomization. We will change the sequence in 3 different ways. T, S1, S2, S1, S2, T, and S2, T, S1. So this is performed by the Latin square method, by the randomization, 3 cycles. So we can get the curve like this, log dose on the x-axis, while the percentage response on the y-axis. So similarly in the 4-point method, again we can calculate the concentration by this formula. That is, concentration of unknown is equal to N1 upon T1 into antilog of that particular S1 plus S2 upon S1, T1 minus T2 upon S2 plus ST2. So this formula is there given by these methods, and the particular T1, what is the T1 lower dose of test, T2 is the higher dose of test, capital T1 is the response of small t1, and capital T2 is the response of small t2, that we record, and we will put this, we will get the concentration of unknown. So this is the 4 cycles. Again the randomization, Latin square method, T1, T2, S1, S2, T1, S1, S2, T1, S1, S2, T1, T2, S2, T1, T2, S1. Okay, so by this method we will perform the 4-point bioassay. Again the 6-point bioassay, again same. Here the 4-point bioassay graph is given, log dose, again percentage response. Okay, so that we have to take note. Calculation, mean response of force rate plotted, log potency ratio, then T2. So where this we can get the calculation by using this formula. And strength of unknown can be calculated by this method. So the dose ratio can be calculated by calculating this, and strength of unknown will be calculated by S1 upon T1 into antilog of this EM. Okay. So cumulative dose response curve, increase the concentration of drug in bath step by step without washing out the preceding doses. Continue till supramaximal effect is seen and dose response curve is plotted. So this is the cumulative dose response curve. We adding the extra drug in the same organ tube and that fluid, and due to the increase in the concentration, the response of that particular tissue is increasing cumulatively. So this is called as the cumulative dose response curve. So this is the graphs, cumulative dose response curve graphs of acetylcholine using the mouse ileum. So let us see the uses of bioassay to measure the pharmacological activity of new chemical undefined substances, to investigate the function of endogenous mediators, to measure the drug toxicity and unwanted effects, to measure the concentration of drugs and other active substances in the blood or other body fluids, determination of potency, new drug development, and measure the clinical effectiveness of various drugs. So these are the uses of bioassay. Hope you have understand this bioassay methods and uses of bioassay and their different methods and their different types.